Today, we're going to get into something really powerful, the role of poetry right in the middle of conflict. We're talking about how a simple pen can become a kind of sword, forcing us to bear witness when it might be easier to just look away.
Just let that sink in for a second. These are the words of Umar Faruk Sisse, a poet from Sierra Leone. And you can feel it, right? That's not just a description. The line itself feels like it's suffocating. It pulls you right into this incredibly intense, visceral reality. A line like that just forces you to stop and ask a really fundamental question. When we're faced with so much violence, so much suffering, what can a poem actually do? I mean, what's the point of a verse in a war zone? Well, to even start to answer that, we've got to look at where that line came from. Turns out, it's not just a lone voice. It's part of this global chorus of poets, all speaking together in one single powerful journal. And here it is. This is the cover of a journal called Kathmandu/Medellin. This particular issue is just packed with poems, interviews, and essays from people all over the world. And they're all focused on one urgent thing: showing solidarity with Palestine. The group behind this is the World Poetry Movement. You can call it WPM for short. And this is a huge global network. We're talking poets from literally every continent, all connected by this one big idea: that poetry actually matters, that it has a real job to do in the world. Okay, so what is that job? What's the role they see for themselves? Well, we don't have to guess. They lay it out crystal clear right in the opening pages of the journal. To frame the entire collection, they chose this incredible quote from the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley: "Poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world." Now think about that. That's not just some pretty, flowery language. That's a huge claim. It's saying that artists have real power, and with that power comes a serious responsibility. And that really is the heart of their argument. The editorial insists that when humanity is suspended, those are their words, poets just can't be silent. It becomes their collective duty to see what's happening, to document it, and to speak out against what they call a heinous crime against humanity. But how, exactly? How does a poem actually work as a form of witness or even resistance? You know what? Let's just let the poets themselves tell us. Take this line. It's from a poem called Trick or Treat by an Iranian poet, talking about the children of Gaza. It's just a haunting image, and it shows you exactly what this work is all about. It's not trying to make you feel comfortable. It's raw. It's unfiltered. It's testimony. And yet, right alongside all that pain, you find this really profound belief from a Spanish poet, Raquel Lanceros. She argues that you can't separate poetry from life, not the joy, not the suffering, because, as she says, poetry is life itself. So it's both a way to document pain and a powerful way of affirming that you're human. And this right here, this is where those two ideas of witness and resistance really merge. For Palestinian writer Hanan Awad, writing isn't some separate thing you do on the side. No, it is the struggle. The pen becomes a message, a tool, and a weapon, a sharp sword against injustice. Awad actually has a name for this. She calls it the committed word. The idea is simple, but so powerful. Language is never neutral. It has power. And in her view, you must use that power actively as a form of defense for yourself and your community. It's about consciously putting words to work in the service of justice. And this commitment isn't just an isolated idea. The journal makes it really clear that this is a global chorus of voices, echoing from every single corner of the world. In fact, one of the coordinators for the World Poetry Movement, a Cuban poet named Alex Pausides, he describes the energy behind this as, get this, a planetary poetic revolution. What a phrase, right? He sees it as this huge, powerful, global force pushing for solidarity and pushing back against war and racism. And when he says planetary, he really means it. Just look at this list of some of the contributors. You've got voices from Cuba and Sierra Leone, from Nepal and Cyprus, from St. Lucia in the Caribbean to Iran to Australia. And this is just a small sample, but it shows this incredible sense of solidarity that truly does not care about borders. So let's bring this all back around. Let's come full circle to that big, bold idea we started with, the one from Percy Bysshe Shelley. When you boil it all down, this entire journal is built on this one core belief, that when political systems fail, the poet's voice takes on a unique kind of authority. It's the power to bear witness, to preserve memory, to insist on our shared humanity, and, in a way, to legislate a moral conscience for the world. So this collection is an incredibly powerful act of speaking out. But it does leave us with one final lingering question. In our world today, a world that is just saturated with noise and distraction, when a poet bears witness, who's actually listening? That's a question we're thinking about.